Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Today my lecture is about vernal keratoconjunctivitis. The vernal keratoconjunctivitis is a branch of allergic conjunctivitis, which we can say that it is a type of the allergic conjunctivitis. So, what is allergic conjunctivitis? Allergic conjunctivitis means that it is an inflammation of the conjunctiva characteristic by itching and redness of eye due to hypersensitivity reaction to allergen or antigen. If some allergen or antigen has been entered into the conjunctiva which cause an antigen antibody reaction, so in result of antigen antibody reaction there is an inflammation of the conjunctiva which is known as the allergic conjunctiva, and the main symptoms of an allergic conjunctiva is the itching. The main presenting symptoms is the patient says that he is having a itching in his eye. So there are many types of allergic conjunctivitis. One of the type is a vernal keratoconjunctivitis, which is the most severe form and the most important form. The other forms are the acute allergic conjunctivitis, seasonal perennial allergic conjunctivitis. The third is the most important, vernal keratoconjunctivitis, atopic keratoconjunctivitis, and phallic-tenular keratoconjunctivitis. So we will only talk about the vernal keratoconjunctivitis in this lecture. So the definition of the vernal keratoconjunctivitis is that it is a recurrent bilateral allergic inflammation of the conjunctiva. So the etiology of this is the same is a hypersensitivity reaction to exogenous allergens. It involves the two type of hypersensitivity reaction. One is a type 1 and one is a type 4. The one type 1 means that there is an involvement of the IgE antibody in this type of reactions, means that the antigen come into the conjunctiva and this antigen will stimulate the antibody which are IgE, and these IgE will combine with the mast cells. We will talk later inshallah in this lecture. So this is a type 1 hypersensitivity reaction, and the other is a type 4 which is a cell mediated immune response, in which there are the CD4 helper T cells are playing an important role. So this is the definition and this is the etiology. Now what is the pathogenesis? In this pathogenesis we will talk that the exogenous allergen act as an antigen and induce formation of an IgE antibody. The antigen and antibody reaction lead to degranulation of the mast cells. So what happened? This is a figure, this is a diagram of an type 1 hypersensitivity reaction, in which whenever the antigen come into the conjunctiva, so it bound with the mast cells. Now it activate the IgE antibodies, and these IgE antibodies will activated, and now for the first time they will not react because there is no any combination with the antigen antibody reaction. But when other times same antigen will come into the body or in the conjunctiva, so these IgE antibody will become activated, and these antigen will bind with the IgE antibodies, and these IgE antibody will bind with the mast cells. And when these reaction will occur, antigen antibody will combine together, these produce the degranulation in the mast cells, and when there is a degranulation of the mast cells, so it releases the histamine, it releases the serotonin, and it releases the substance P, which all of these will what do? They will do the inflammation in the conjunctiva, which means there is a vasodilation, which means there are the many chemical mediator will be released from these types of blood vessels, so they result into the reaction, and these reaction will we see in the conjunctiva and the cornea. So this whole is a allergic conjunctivitis. Now, clinical type. What are the clinical types of the vernal keratoconjunctivitis? There are three clinical types. One is a palpebral form, the second is a limbal form, and the third is a mixed form, in which both palpebral and the limbal form are involved. So the symptoms of an vernal keratoconjunctivitis is the most important presenting symptom is itching. The patient will come with the itching, that the patient is feeling irritation in the eye, or it is he or she is feeling very discomfort in the eye, and due to which there is a burning sensation, there is a lacrimation due to reflex oversecretion, there is a foreign body sensation in the eye because of the cornea involvement. Wherever there is a cornea involvement of the conjunctiva, whenever there is a highly dilated blood vessels in the conjunctiva or the cornea is involved, so there is a foreign body sensation. No, there is no any foreign body in the eye, but the patient feel that there is a foreign body in the eye. It is because of the corneal and the conjunctival involvement. After that, the science depends upon which form. Science depends on that how the vernal keratoconjunctivitis react. That it means that if the person is having the palpebral keratoconjunctivitis, so the signs the doctors see are different. When there is a limbal conjunctivitis, keratoconjunctivitis, so the patient will see, the doctor will see the other signs in the eye. So in the palpebral form, there are the hyperemia of the conjunctiva. What do you mean by hyperemia of the conjunctiva? The whole conjunctiva will become red because of the dilated blood vessels. Whenever there is a dilation of the blood vessels, so these blood vessels will dilated and marked as a red appearance in the conjunctiva, because the conjunctiva is a translucent structure. After that, there is a diffuse papillary hypertrophy. They are the small papilla which are present in the conjunctiva. Whenever there is an allergic inflammation occurs, so these papilla will be dilated and there is an hypertrophy of these papilla, and this hypertrophy of these papilla will lead to the formation of the cobblestone like appearance of these papilla. Whenever there is a cobblestone like appearance of these papilla, so it means that there is a highly reaction in the conjunctiva. After that, if these papilla will become more dilated and more large or more hypertrophied, so it form a cauliflower like structure, which is a pathognomic structure for the vernal keratoconjunctivitis. Now there is a diagram of the cobblestone. These are the cobblestone like appearance. Now you can see the conjunctiva, the palpebral conjunctiva, normally it is very flat, but whenever there is a vernal keratoconjunctivitis, it is a severe form of a keratoconjunctivitis, which means that there is a formation of the cobblestone in the palpebral conjunctiva. Now there is one more thing which is known as the giant papilla. These giant papilla are also the hypertrophied, diffuse hypertrophied papilla, which are known as a giant papilla. Now there is a limbal form. Now in the limbal form, the signs are different. There is a hyperemia of the limbal conjunctiva. There is no hyperemia of the palpebral conjunctiva, but there is a hyperemia of the limbal conjunctiva. There is a gelatinous papilla on the limbal conjunctiva. Gelatinous papilla means that there is a whitish structure in the limbus, which denote that there is an edema of the conjunctiva. It seems like an edema of the conjunctiva, but it's not an edema of the conjunctiva, but it is a gelatinous papilla on the conjunctiva. There are also Trentus dot which are appearing on the limbus margin. There is a Trentus dot, and these Trentus dots are the white superficial spots, which are combination of the eosinophils and the epithelial cells. These epithelial cells and the eosinophils combination will form the Trentus dot, which are present around the limbus. After that, there is an you can see that there is an hyperemia of the limbal conjunctiva, and there is a gelatinous papilla is there, and there are the Trentus dot. These Trentus dots are the combination of the eosinophils and the dead epithelial cells. Now there is a signs of both mixed form, means that there are palpebral features are also present and the limbal features are also present, but the keratopathy occur most commonly in the palpebral keratoconjunctivitis, not in the limbal keratoconjunctivitis. It is very confusing that in the limbal keratoconjunctivitis, the limbus is very near to the cornea. So why the cornea is not involved? But it is a rule that palpebral keratoconjunctivitis involves the most of the cornea, and there is an epithelial macroerosions forms occur because the chemical mediator or the toxin released from the conjunctiva will also involve the cornea, and there is a macroerosions and the ulceration will occur. Plaque and the shield ulcer. Plaque and the shield ulcer means that there is a mucus which appear in the bare areas of the cornea will involve, and these form the plaque and the shield ulcer. After that, there is a peripheral vascularization occur in the cornea, and the final most common not, it is very severe form of the keratoconjunctivitis, in which there is a keratoconus appear, in which there is a cornea having the very different structure at all ages. The cornea is not uniform at all ages, but it is very different in all ages, so it is called a keratoconus. It is a severe condition of the keratoconjunctivitis. Now the treatment of the keratoconjunctivitis, vernal keratoconjunctivitis, is very easy treatment. First of all, you have to prevent yourself from the allergens which cause the keratoconjunctivitis. So avoid exposure to the allergens. After that, there is a cold compress can be helpful. Why the cold compress can be helpful? Because the coldness will vasoconstrict the vessels which are present in the eye. The conjunctival vessels, if you press by the cold material, so what happens that these vessels will constrict, and the chemical mediator which are released from the blood vessels will not release that more that they are releasing in the past. After that, there is a mast cell stabilizer. What are the mast cells? Mast cells are playing a very important role in the vernal keratoconjunctivitis, because the degranulation of the mast cell result into the release of the histamine, serotonin, and the substance B. So what we have to do, we have to stabilize the mast cells by giving the drugs to the patient, which are the sodium chromoglycate.
And there is the antihistamine drugs are also present, because these antihistamine will also reduce the chance of the itching, because these histamine will play a very important role in the itching of the patient. So we have to remove the symptoms of the patient, so we will give the antihistamine drugs. After that, there is the NSAIDs will also helpful. NSAID, because these NSAIDs will not as much as helpful, but they can give help to the patient by blocking the non-histamine mediator in the patient, in some patient, not in all patient. After that, there is one in a new generation like drugs like olopatadine, like catotropins. These are the combination of the mast cell stabilizer and the antihistamine. So we provide these drugs to the patient, and this drug will play a very important role in prevention of the symptoms of the vernal keratoconjunctivitis. After that, we have to give the topical steroid. The topical steroid will play a very important role, because the steroid will reduce the immunity, reduce the antigen antibody reactions. So it will play a very important role in removing the symptoms of the vernal keratoconjunctivitis. But we cannot give this steroid for a long period of time, because these steroid can cause the cataract formation, and this steroid also cause the glaucoma, which is a very dangerous condition of an eye. After that, there is an acetylcysteine. The steroid preparation we can use like fluorometholone, prednisolone, dexamethasone. And after this, there is acetylcysteine, which is not practicing in our country, but it is practicing in outside the world, in outside our country, like in America, like in USA. These acetylcysteine are using, and these acetylcysteine are the mucolytic agents, and it is used for the early treatment of the plaque formation. After that, there is topical cyclosporine. Topical cyclosporine is also an immunosuppressive drug in those patients in which the steroid are not effective, so we have to give the topical cyclosporine. After that, if the condition is very worse, like cobalt stones are very much in the eye and there is a cauliflower-like structure in the eye, so we have to give the supratorsal steroid injection, which we give in the palpebral part of the conjunctiva, and this steroid will directly move towards the conjunctiva and reduce the inflammation. So this is the final method we use in the treatment of the vernal keratoconjunctivitis. So we will give the supratorsal steroid injection. So this is a treatment of the what we can say that vernal keratoconjunctivitis. Thank you very much.